Om Vasudeva Sukam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Chapter 6 Atma Sanyama Yoga. Everyone on the spiritual path requires Atma Sanyama. For on the spiritual path, the seeker realizes that the real challenge is not outside, it is within oneself. Initially, everyone says, I have problems. Then one realizes, I am the problem. My own mind is the main problem. What others do or say is not the main issue. What I make of it, how I respond to it, how I deal with it even after the other person walks away is important. Therefore, Atma Sanyama is no other than Manas Sanyama. And that is the crux of Dhyana. Therefore, this chapter is also called Dhyana Yoga. We went up to the 21st verse of this 6th chapter, and the last verse we saw emphasized the supreme happiness in the higher stage of meditation. Sukham Atyantikam. The happiness is forever. Anta means end. Atyantikam will stay till the end. That means it's not happiness that comes and goes. And that is what all of us want. Atyantikam sukham. Buddhi grahya matindriyam. So all that. Presently there are a couple of verses which may be in a sense called Falashruti. For every student would ask, what do I get doing all this? Is it really worth pursuing spirituality when there are so many obstacles on the path and very few actually succeed and all that? The verses presently tell us how great it is to walk the spiritual path. And whether we succeed or not, we have to get on to it. We have to get down to it because there is nothing else which can give to us happiness. It is the only way. Some join early, some join late. So we move on to the 22nd verse presently. Yam labdva chaparam labham manyate nadhikam tataha yasmin stito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalyate. Yam and yasmin, etc. are relative pronouns. It's a bit difficult to translate in English, and going by the same syntax, we will have to put it this way. The meditator gains something compared with which there is nothing higher. Labha is what you gain. And our mind is so conditioned to demand, to expect, to desire, to visualize, to want something in return. In economics, they call it ROI, return on investment. Return on investment. We invest so much of our time and energy into meditation. What do we get in return? When we go into true spirituality, that thought about what we get is itself an obstacle. We need to respect that desire. When something is so common, everyone is suffering from it, whether they ought to have it or not, whether it's a legitimate desire or not, we respect that desire and we need to answer that. Therefore, Sri Krishna says, all right, your question is what you will get. You will get something compared with which nothing else is higher. All other gain in life, in this world, is way below this gain. Yam labham labdva adhikam tataha aparam na manyate. Na manyate means does not consider. Manat, manute, manyate, chintayati. Does not think of anything else as coming anywhere near this gain. It is supremely satisfied. The meditator says, I don't want anything else now. I'm so much in bliss. As you and I are on the path of sadhana, on one hand, we find, oh, there are so many things to be done, this world, this family life, this many things coming up every day, leave no time for sadhana. On the other hand, when we sit even for 10 minutes or 15 minutes and feel so good, another mind within us says, I think I should leave everything else and study more, meditate more. Who said just a while ago, I don't think I can pursue spirituality anymore. There is so much to do. And who is saying now, I will give up everything else for the sake of this spiritual bliss? Which is the truer voice? Obviously, the second one, which recognizes the unparalleled, unalloyed bliss of spiritual practices. Adhikam na manyate aparam. And the second half also is very powerful. Yasmin stitaha, you and I can make ourselves steady in the bliss of meditation, then even if something very terrible happens to us, dukkha is sorrow, and an adjective is used here, guruna dukkhena. Guru dukkham. Guru means heavy, some grave adversity, which can terrify us, we can frighten us even by thinking about it. God forbid, if that actually happens, you are a great meditator, you will remain unshaken. So you wonder sometimes what this spirituality is for. Why do people go for spirituality? The answer is given here. Spirituality, japa, dhyana, adhyayana, shravana, manana, dhyana, all of them. Why? For you and I see that whatever we get in life, wealth, college degrees, family, children, grandchildren, independent, nice house, bank balance, all of them do not help us anchor in a certain unshakable happiness. Unshakable happiness is the promise of spirituality only. All else is empty advertisement. Somebody would say, buy this product and be happy forever. Somebody would say, get this phone connection, get this internet connection and be happy. Everything, salesmanship. So we say that is all okay. That's called sales talk. Really speaking, it's only spiritual bliss. So, dukkhena gurunapi na vicharya. One does not get moved. Chalati means moves. Chalayati means to make somebody move. Na chalyate, na vichalyate. Gravest of adversities also does not move the meditator. That is the bliss. So we see some paragraphs of Shānkara Bhāshya now. On the 20th, Adi Shankara says, Yatra, 20th verse, Yatra yasmin kale paramate, withdraws one's chitta, niruddham yoga sevaya. Yoga is used in very many ways in the Bhagavad Gita. Here yoga is the practice of meditation. Somewhere else yoga could be Patanjala yoga. Yama niyama asana pranayama pratyahara dharana dhyana samadhi. Ashtanga yoga. Somewhere else yoga could mean a state of vairagya, like in the beginning of this chapter, yoga rudha, a state where one has great amount of spontaneous detachment towards the pleasures of the world. But here yoga is dhyana yoga. One has been studying and then one meditates upon what one has understood. And yoga sevaya, yoga anushthanena niruddham manasaha nirodha. The mind is held back. It is the mind which goes out and makes us miserable. Pull it in, bring it in, stay in. Then niruddham manaha. Then what happens? The 20th verse had said, one sees oneself by oneself and is happy in oneself. Atmana, Atmanam, Atmani. Third case, second case, and seventh case of the word Atman is used. Adi Shankara says, Atmana. One should see this truth by oneself. Listening to somebody describe it will not help us. Somebody eating a great meal does not take away our hunger. For our hunger to go, we ourselves should be. Likewise, Atmana means Samadhi Parishuddhena Antakaranena. When our mind is purified, and with that mind of ours, Atmana, then Atmanam, one must behold. Pashyan is said in the shloka. Shankaracharya says, in this context, beholding oneself means one's true nature, that is Param Chaitanyam Jyotiswarupam Pashyan. We are that supreme Chaitanya, consciousness, pure awareness, which is of the nature of light. Pashyan means not seeing with our eyes, but upalabhamana. Upalabhamana means experiencing it as one's own nature. Then the seventh case use of Atman. Atmani tushyati. That means Sveva Atman. All along one's pleasure seem to come from things outside. One looks back and remembers one's happy moments when one had passed some examination, when one had got its first job, when one got promoted, when one was felicitated by some people for some achievement, on various occasions, one was happy. But there was those external causes. But now, Sve eva atmani tushyati tushtim bhajate. And Adi Shankara has something to say on 21 also. Sukham atyantikam. Atyantikam means atyantameva bhavati. Iti atyantikam. Ati antam. It goes beyond the concept of an end. That means there is no end. Therefore, Shankara adds one more word, anantam. Sukham atyantikam means anantam sukham, boundless, endless, infinite. And yattad buddhi grahyam, buddhya eva indriya nirapekshaya grihya. We had thrown some light on it in the last class without referring to Shankara Bhāshya. Buddhigrahyam in no way means the pure self which is infinite can be brought within the boundaries of the limited intellect. Buddhigrahyam, something to be grasped by the intellect, is more to negate the need for sense organs. Indriya nirapekshaya. Eyes, ears, etc. have no role to play. Buddhi understands the limitless happiness lying inside oneself. Therefore, by saying buddhi grahyam, the indriya grahyam is negated. The happiness of a gulab jamun, the happiness of some fantastic music, depends on the tongue or the ears. This does not depend on any sense organs. Therefore, to negate the role of sense organs, it said buddhi grahyam. Actually, it is beyond even buddhi. But buddhi understands. Doesn't bring Atma within its fold, but it understands. By submitting, by bowing down, by recognizing its own helplessness, the buddhi understands something higher. Atindriyam, indriya gochara, atitam. It is beyond all that is available within the indriyas. Whatever is within the indriya may be called Vishaya Janitam. Like in the example we gave just now, music is Vishaya. A sweet is a Vishaya. A nice air-conditioned hall where one sits and gets relief from the heat. Now, all these tropical countries like India are getting hotter and hotter by the day. So the Indriya called the skin experiences certain relief in cooler places, even in the shade of a tree. But here, it is not Vishaya Janitam. The happiness here is Avishaya Janitam. And Sri Krishna had said further in 21, Vetti yatra nachaivayam stitas chalati tattvataha. Adi Shankara explains it. Vetti tat idrisham sukham anubhavati. One can experience this happiness. This is not just in books. The books talk about it. That may give us some motivation. But finally, we have to close the book and put it aside and work on ourselves. Nisargadatta Maharaj asked a foreigner in 1972. This foreigner from Canada had traveled across the seas to study in the Chinmaya ashram in Mumbai. And when he came to know there is an enlightened human being right in Bombay, I believe the foreigner said to me when I met him, I have been at your ashram, I did the Vedanta course, he said. and I met him in Toronto. And I asked, really? When were you? And he gave years. And then he shared this. He said, I, as a Canadian, came all the way to Mumbai and was there at the Chinmaya ashram. And he smiled and said, without anybody's permission, one day I sneaked out, went and saw Nisargadatta Maharaj. And I had only one question. He said, I forgot that foreigner's name. His face comes before my mind in memory. Whatever. This foreigner, let us call him Dan. Dan asked Nisargadatta Maharaj, Swami, I have come to study Vedanta for 2 years at this Powai ashram. And I believe Nisargadatta asked this Dan, what do you do in that Vedanta course? Dan said, we study all these books, Vedanta books. And Nisargadatta asked a very unusual question. Tell me whether the books came first or you came first. First Dan thought, well, it was year 73, I guess, 72 or so. First course that Swami Dayanandji taught at Sandipani Sadhanalaya. And Dan thought, well, I was born in 1942 or something. But these Vedanta books have been there from thousands of years. He was about to say, but he had already studied some Vedanta. He understood Nisargadatta is not asking Dan from the body point of view. That existence, Sat. He had already studied some Vedanta. He said to Nisargadatta, Maharaj, as Sat-Chit, I have come first. The books came later. Then Nisargadatta, point blank, flatly said to Dan, reading all these books has limited value. Know yourself, be in yourself. Be. Do not just accumulate words and words, and so on. As you know, Nisargadatta had given great emphasis on being attentive to the sense of I am. In a day, thousands of thoughts come to our mind. I'm tired. I'm so happy. I'm now doing well. I'm hungry. I'm now satiated. I ate well. I am X, I am Y, I am A, I am B. Right? Nisargadatta's advice was simple. Whenever a thought arises, I am X, I am Y, I am A, I am B, in whatever respect, remove that second part, X, Y, A, B, P or Q. Stay with I am. Just notice the sense of I am. It can do wonders. Stay with I am. If you say, but this I am is a thought after all. We are supposed to go beyond thought. Nisargadatta answers that. You stay with I am, even if it is a thought, a feeling, rest of it will happen. You will be sucked into the pure I, which is not a thought. But presently you are going out. I am successful. I am handsome. I am ever young. I am so talented. I am the mayor of this city. You are going out into some description or the other of who you are endlessly. And you get tired. You get so frustrated. Don't do that. Learn to stay in I am. Then there is a gathering of energy in you. And that energy will turn inward. It will turn you inward. It will push you into Yes, that which is beyond. So Dan came back shaken. Oh, reading all these books, therefore, is not of much value. However, he completed the 2 year or 2.5 years Vedanta course, went back to Canada, and when I met him way back in 97 or so, he was conducting some Vedanta classes also in Toronto. He was into Vedanta. I don't know the details. But then the issue is who came first? Not the personality, not Indriyas, not Buddhi. The true nature of ours was, is, and will be. It is high time we went back home. We returned home to our own true nature. Avishaya janitam vetti yat idrisham sukham anubhoti. Yatra yasmin kale na chaiva ayam vidwan atmaswarupe stitaha tasmat naiva chalati tattvataha tattvaswarupat na pratyavate. As our meditation advances, na chalati, we won't move. We won't slip and fall. Pratyavate. Chavate means falling. Therefore, Lord Vishnu, who never falls from his grand, glorious, divine state, is called Achyuta. Achyuta means falling. Achyuta never falls. Who never falls. Na Pratyavate. Yartha. Then we come to the verse which we picked up today. Incha yam labdva yam atmalabham labdva prapya cha aparam anyat labham labhantaram adhikataram asti iti na manyate. One becomes very clear that there is nothing in the three worlds which is adhikatara. Adhika means more. Adhikatara, even more. So there is nothing more, nothing even more than this happiness. This is the ultimate. When you and I walk on the spiritual path and reach higher states, we thank the heavens. So happy we did not get stuck with some political ambition, some economic goals, some other. This world is full of attractions. World is full of prospects and possibilities. Become this, become that, go here, go there, so on. Buy land, buy house, go abroad, settle in some distant country where everything will be perfect. There is no such place anywhere under the sun. Wherever you go, there you are. There's a famous book of olden days. The book is titled, Wherever You Go, There You Are. What it means is, go to any country, go to any part of the world, even if everything materialistically is good, there you are. That is, your mind will not spare you. Your mind will find some new ways of persecuting you. Your own mind is your worst enemy. But when handled properly by regular study, meditation, and so on, that same mind becomes your best friend. Bandhuratmatmanastasya yenatmaivatmana jitaha anatmanastu shatrutve vartetatmaiva shatru. What was said in this chapter only before. Kincha yasmin atmasratve sthitaha dukkhena na vichalyate, is not shaken by any sorrow. Guruna, even by some grave, heavy sorrow. Like what? Adi Shankara gives the definition. Shastra nipatadi lakshane. Somebody may come and take a sword and hit you on the shoulder, on the chest. You will not be shaken. You can stay so much inside you that even a cruel, brutal, physical attack cannot disturb it. Shastra nipata vilakshana api. Guruna means mahata. Here Guru doesn't mean the teacher. Guru here means big or heavy or grey. Laghu means light, small, casual or little and so on. Guru means heavy. And therefore, continuing Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna himself says now, there's a beautiful definition of yoga. Tam vidya dukkha sanyogam. No. Tam vidya dukkha sanyoga yogam yoga sannitam sanischayena yoktavyo yogo nirvinna chetasa. Yogo nirvinna chetasa. By sandhi that becomes silent while reciting, but it is yogaha anirvinna chetasa. So what is the new definition for yoga? It's a nice definition with a bit of linguistic skill. Yoga literally is uniting. But Shankara, Sri Krishna himself says here, the essence of yoga, which in a sense means uniting with God, uniting with the divine, okay. But inwardly, inside it, essentially, yoga is marked by yoga, separation. Know that separation to be the union. How can separation be the union? Separation from a false union which had taken place. Dukkha sanyoga. In your spiritual ignorance, you got united with unnecessary sorrow. Kalpanika dukkham. It was all a play of the mind. Like you are hypnotized and you imagine you are in water, neck deep water. Actually, you are on the stage of the hypnosis show by some acclaimed hypnotist. The 70s or so, or maybe before, late 60s, some Dean Colley or somebody, a big international hypnotist had come to India. He went to small towns, small villages. He had come to our small town, very small town, and in the big government high school, he did a show. Vague memories of that. So, it have been 71 or something. 71. Dean, Polly. And yes, I did not go up the stage. You were calling members of the audience. Can you volunteer? Come up. Some of our young men, women went to the stage and we hypnotized them. Said, okay, close your eyes and there is water around you, etc. There's a process. And those 8 or 9 people who are on the stage who went up as volunteers, upon being hypnotized, really thought that they are now in neck deep water. And all of us, the audience, were watching. What will happen now? And Dean Colley said to them, oh, water is going to rise higher. You can't breathe. Start swimming. And can you believe? Those 8 or 9 level-headed people, otherwise educated people, young men and women of my small town, they got so scared. Yes, now we will be drowned. All of them fell flat on the stage and started making motions of swimming. 1 or 2 fell down from the stage. The stage was not much high, but fell down from the stage also. People had to rush and take care of them. For a while, they were trying to save themselves from water which did not exist. And then, of course, the hypnotists have a way to bring them out of that hypnotized state. So, dukkha is like that. Kalpanika dukkha. Nothing ever really happened to you, but like hypnosis, everything seemed so real. No wonder Mandukya Upanishad says, Etat taduttamam satyam yatra kinchinna jayate. The world never came into being. Even now there is no world except for your mind imagining it. This is the supreme truth where there never was creation, there never is creation, there is nothing to control, there is nothing to manage. That is the ultimate truth. But in spiritual ignorance, we feel there are so many problems to be solved. Anyway, dukkha sanyoga. You are united with sorrow which is false. From that, let there be yoga. Separate yourself from a false association, and then in a manner of saying, though actually the matter is over there, in a manner of saying, we put it this way, then you are united with God. You are never away from the divine, but the false association created a picture of your being bound. Like the hypnotist in my example, suppose says, okay, now there is no water, all of you come back on the stage, stand up on the stage. They are on the stage only. They imagined water and started swimming and fell down also. So there is no stage that they have to go search for. They were on the stage. Like that, you and I are in the pure self. But the imagined world created so much misery for us. So nischayena yoktavya. Practice this yoga with all determination. Don't dilly-dally. Don't look left or right. Practice it anirvinna chetasa. With a mind that doesn't lose hope, that doesn't feel depressed. Nirveda. Here nirveda means depression, sadness, losing hope, losing interest, losing enthusiasm, losing motivation. Don't let that happen. Yoga anirvinna chetasa yoktavyaha should be practiced. Let's see how Adi Shankara throws some light upon this. Tam vidya dvijaniya dukkha sanyoga viyogam. Dukkhaihi sanyoga dukkha sanyoga. So sorrow is of many kinds. Therefore, association or union or being in the clutches of many kinds of sorrow, all of them being in the frame of reference of avidya, ignorance. Tena viyoga, dukkha sanyoga viyoga. Tam dukkha sanyoga viyogam yoga ityeva sannitam viparita lakshena vidya vijaniya. So, normally vijaniya, the V would be explained as visheshena. Know it very well. But here, as per the context, Adi Shankara says, viparita lakshanena vijani. Know it as different from lakshana signs. Viparita lakshana, different signs, opposite signs. We have association with sorrow. And please know yoga to be something where it's different. This association with sorrow, this embrace of false imagined scenarios will not be present there. Viparita lakshanena vidya. Yoga phalam upasamhritya punaha anvarambhena yogsya kartavyata uchyate. Nishchaya Nirveda Yoga Sadhanatva Vidhanartham. Coming to the second half of the shloka, Adi Shankara says, benefit of yoga has been mentioned before also, and in this shloka, calling it a separation from a false union. Yoga is yoga. Yoga from sorrow is yoga with happiness. Yoga phalam upasamritya. So having talked enough on the excellent, wonderful rewards of yoga, Anvarambena, Anu, continuing Aramba. Again, starting a certain topic. Earlier also it was said, practice. Yogi Yunjita Satatam Atmanam Rahasistita. That's how it all began. That was actually Kartavyata Nirupanam. Vidhana. Practice. Meditate regularly. Okay. That was said before. But Punaha. Anvarambena. Continuing. Picking it up again. It is yogasya kartavyata uchyate. Of course, with a new touch of number one, nishchaya, be firm in your decision. And anirveda, do not lose heart. Be resolute and do not lose heart. Anirveda, yoga sadhanatva. So this nishchaya, being firm in our practices, and anirveda, not to get depressed for any reason, are yoga sadhana. They are great supports, great supporting values for yoga. Sayatokta phalaha yoga nischayena adhyavasayena yoktavyaha. This yoga of which the rewards have been mentioned has to be practiced with nischaya, adhyavasaya, determination, and further anirvinna chetasa. Na nirvinnam anirvinnam kim tat chetaha tena nirveda rahitena chetasa chittena ityartha. It's all in our hands. Even when something terrible happens, we really have the capacity to stay unmoved. We have to tap that potential. We have to tap that hidden ability within us. And now Bhagavan Sri Krishna wants to throw light on the way we have to deal with our mind. How do we stay firm? How do we get going? 24 says, Sankalpa Prabhavan Raman Tyaktva Sarvan Asheshataha Manasaivendriya Gramam Viniyamya Samantataha. Sankalpa Prabhavan Kama. Kaman Tyaktva is the main expression. Let go of your desires. But how do desires arise? They are born of Sankalpa, Shobhana Adhyasa. About this or that, about gold, or about objects of the world, we have Shobhana Adhyasa, a superimposition from our mind that there is much happiness there. And Maya is such, the moment you imagine there is happiness in a certain object, that object seems to have happiness. You see a wonderful Lexus car, some friend of yours is having, yours is a rather ordinary one. You imagine, must be so nice. One day, friend says, you drive today. You sit and drive and then confirms. There is something called confirmation bias in psychology. Your mind first makes an opinion, and many things happen which confirm that opinion, while the truth may be different. Confirmation bias. various prejudices, various partialities, various notions of who is good, who is bad, what is good, what is bad, are all confirmed by a very peculiar mechanism of the mind. So you sit in the Lexus, you drive the Lexus, and then you say, oh, without such a car, my life is a total fail. Whatever. So in this way, Shobhana Adhyasa, it begins with an imagination. If there are some true sadhus in this world who have no desires, you know how they came upon that state of desirelessness? They questioned their notion. They questioned their sankalpas. Sankalpa here is not resolve, sankalpa is not decision, sankalpa here is not willpower. The word sankalpa is Shobhana Adhyasa, imagining happiness in something, imagining beauty in something, imagine desirability of something. Then of course you will have desire. You think there is gold, then you want it. If there is no gold really, there is no silver. You think there is a snake and you are afraid. There is no snake, only rope. There is only a rope there. But thinking that there is snake, you start trembling. That is sankalpa, the thinking that there is happiness. Tyaktva. So inquire, question, asheshata. So the desireless sadhus who are so blessed in this world did that work, did that homework. They questioned, they inquired, quietly they thought over what they were seeking. Is it worth seeking? Is there truly some great happiness there? Then they found out. Manasa eva indriya gramam viniyamya. You must use your mind to bring the senses under control. Then go for a deeper intelligence to let go of your attachment or identification with mind also. Viniyamya samantataha, from all directions, withdraw the mind. Samantataha means from all over. Then one more. Shanai shanai ruparame buddhya dhriti grahitaya atma sanstam manakrutva na kinchidapi chintaye. Shanaihi shanaihi is the Sanskrit word for slowly. Just shanaihi is enough, but very often it is used twice. Shanai shanai. Slowly, very slowly. Sri Krishna fully understands that we cannot overnight change. It is through sustained practice. Sadhana spread over many years. Shanai shanai uparame, withdraw. Use your buddhi to withdraw the mind. Use your mind to withdraw the senses. Use your buddhi to withdraw the mind, the emotional mind. And to do so, buddhi has to be first rooted in dhriti, a certain steadiness. Whatever it is, withdraw the senses, withdraw the organs of action, withdraw the emotional mind, withdraw the decisive intellect, indriya, mana, buddhi, draw all of them for what? Atma samskam manakrutva. Fix your mind in pure self, nakinchidapi chintaye. Then do not think of anything. Stay there. There is a time when one has to put in effort. Then there is a time when one doesn't do anything, one just stays there. If you call that also effort, all right, call it so. But in another sense, because there is no doing of any kind, there is more of being, staying, it's not effort. We'll see Shankara's commentary also in the next class on these 24 and 25. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.